Hello and welcome to this video on how to properly configure folder redirection. The problem I usually see when it's configured incorrectly is that domain admins and local admins and the such don't have any access or rights to other users' folders, or you just get a whole big mess of messed up permissions everywhere. So now this is going to be done as an example in Windows Server 2016, although the steps I'm going to show you are basically the same from Server 2008 on up through 2019. There'll be very slight UI differences, but that's about it. Now, right now I'm on a domain controller. I do not recommend putting your folder redirection folders on your domain controller, but just for this example, so that I'm not having to hop between servers, I'm going to just do that as a test, but you should have them separately stored on their own file server or something. So to start with, I'm going to make a folder redirection folder, and you're going to go to sharing. You're going to go to advanced sharing, share this folder, and we're going to set the share permissions. You're going to want three different things here, or first is everyone, and then next is administrators. You can actually do four. You can do administrators and domain administrators if you want, but it's fine. And the last one is system. So really just those three: administrators, everyone, and system. And you're going to give full control to all three. Hit OK. OK. And then we're going to go to Securities tab, and here we're going to set the NTFS permissions. So you're going to do that under Advanced, and you should check this. By default, this is on, depending on which OS you're on, this will be enabled by default or disabled. I think it's enabled by default on 2008 and 2016. It's disabled by default on 2012 R2, and I don't remember on 2019. Either way, you want it disabled, and you're going to remove all inherited permissions from this object. So we're going to add, select a principal. The first one is going to be everyone. Which for some reason it doesn't see. There we go. And you're going to choose this folder only. And you can go to Advanced Permissions so you can see everything. The ones you want are Traverse Folder, List Folder Read Data, Read Attributes. You do not want Read Extended Attributes. You do not want Read Permissions. You do want Create Folders, Append Data. So just those four. And then you're going to hit OK. And now you're going to add the next one. We're going to be doing a total of 4 here. The next one is Creator Owner. And creator owner is going to be subfolders and files only. And you're going to give it full control. And it doesn't matter if you have advanced or basic showing when you're doing full control. The next one is going to be system. And on system, we're going to give it this folder, subfolders and files, and we're going to give it full control. Last one, domain admins. And this is where most people, or most systems I've seen configured with folder redirection, are messed up. You want this folder, subfolders, and files, and full control again. This allows the domain admin to drill down into all of the users' folders. Some people think that that's not okay for privacy issues. If that's the case in your organization, don't do it, but for the most part, if you don't do this, it ends up being an HR nightmare later on when someone needs access to something. Anyway, this is how it should be done properly. If you don't trust the person you're giving domain admin controls to, well, don't give them domain admin controls. So those are the 4 you're going to need in there. Basically, this is going to allow everyone to have certain permissions to just that folder redirection folder. Creator owner is going to give full control to the subfiles, but not this. And the reason for that is because the creator of each redirected folder group is going to be that user. So if a user named Claire logs in, her user will then create her own subfolder within here, as well as all the subfolders without that. So they need to have full control for the subfolders that they're creating. But you don't want them to have full control to the root folder. System and domain admin needs full control to everything. So once all that's done, we can apply OK, close. You're now done with everything you need to do in this folder. Everything else is going to be managed through group policy. So I have this staging OU here.
Did this battery run out because when I put it, it said that?
That's right, buddy. We'll get more batteries later, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. And that was my son. Okay, so we've got this staging OU that I have created here, and that's where we're going to apply this. So first, group policy object. I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to call this test folder redirection. And we're going to edit that. Now, under user config, we're going to go to policies, and then Windows settings, and folder redirection. Now here's where you get to choose which folders you want to redirect. For this example, I'm just going to do desktop, documents, and downloads. So you go to properties, you're going to go to basic, and the root path. In this case, it's going to be, like I said, I don't recommend doing it on your DC, but I am going to do it just on my DC1 here. And I couldn't remember if it was DC1 or DC01. / folder redirection. And then under here you want to uncheck this box, and you should check this box, and then that'll, in case you have older systems on there, you want it to also apply there. You definitely don't want the exclusive rights checked. And here, this is up to you, but I prefer redirecting the data back to the local profile if for some reason they leave the domain or you move them out of that OU. That way all the data still remains with the user. And then you're going to hit OK, and you're going to do the same thing to documents. Basic, and you want it to create a folder for each user under the root path. That way, this is the share, and this is where the Claire user will log in. She'll create her Claire folder, and then it will create the next folder, documents, underneath that. Uncheck exclusive rights, and check redirect back. And on documents, it's going to give you that warning because that on older systems, pictures, music, video folders were located within the My Documents folder, whereas on newer systems, they're located as their own folder. So just hit yes on this. I don't expect many of you have XP machines sitting around still. And last one I'm going to do is downloads. And redirect back. Now you actually cannot do that on the downloads folder. It's not an option. There you go. You now have done everything you need to do with your group policy. You can go ahead and close that, and we can link that in our staging to our staging organization. We will now go to our staging, and we're going to create just a user here. Test man. Okay. Now, I actually cannot switch user from this session. So we will try this. We're going to log into my backup server. And we're going to log in as testman. Who, of course, is not authorized to do that. This video is going fantastic. Okay. So as you can see, DC admin just logged in just normally with nothing there. And allowed him to access that. And now we're going to go right back in. Okay, so now when we log in, it is applying folder redirection policy because testman is part of that OU we linked the group policy to. So now that that user is logged in, you can see over here under folder redirection, there's a testman folder that's been created. And as the DC admin, I have the ability to traverse it. So under desktop from here, I'm actually going to create a new text document called test. And as you can see, it just showed up right here on my testman's desktop. And if I create a new test document called test2, you will see that it shows up right here. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And there you go. So that is how you set up folder redirection.